everyone. We are all set to begin our second workshop under the workshop series of Jumpstart 2021. So let me give a small introduction on what Jumpstart is. Jumpstart is an excellent opportunity presented for early stage startups as well as mature stage startups. Where for early stage startups, we hold a competition called Pitch It Win It, where any team or any individual with a business idea, if you need validation for your idea, this is the best chance to get. And also for mature stage startups, we have a category called Shark Tank, where we connect you with renowned investors in the country. So with that, before starting our competition round, our intention is to equip with you with the necessary knowledge and expertise in the subject of entrepreneurship, and hence we hold this workshop series under Jumpstart 2021, and you're here at the second workshop series of Jumpstart 2021. So this little time forward is dedicated towards our banking partner, Bank of Ceylon.
Bank of Ceylon, bearer of the nation's proud lion crest, is honoured to be named Bank of the Year 2021 Sri Lanka by the globally renowned The Banker magazine UK. We salute all Sri Lankans who have empowered our journey to victory.
Thank you. So, about today's workshop, where we talk about a business canvas model, how to develop a business canvas model and how to align your business with it. So, to educate us on this topic, today we have our speaker, Mr. Mohammed Fawaz. Let me introduce you to him. Mr. Mohammed Fawaz is an education and technology consultant, a facilitative trainer, a business development coach who has trained students and entrepreneurs not only in Sri Lanka but internationally as well. He's considered as an award-winning educator, and also is the founder CEO of CurveUp. So among his busy schedules, he has agreed to be here for us to educate us on this topic. So handing over the proceedings to Mr. Fawaz, and a warm welcome to you.
Right. Hi, everyone. And a great opportunity to meet such a young set of individual who is going to take over the world way forward with crisis and going to lead it to be beautiful and a better place for all of us to make it. Hope all of you can hear well. Clear? Good? Yeah?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, perfect. All right, guys, I'm not going to take a very long time. And I always think whenever I'm going to do a training or anything, few things that I bear in my mind. If I were you, will I like this session, right? So I'll try to make it interesting as much as possible and very limited. I'm not gonna be a Google to kind of keep telling you a lot of theories, right? So you have Google, YouTube, everything that you want to take away home. So, right, sweet. All right, here we go. Right, I'm going to do a very quick exercise because as I told you, I wanted to make it a little more interactive as much as I could. Sorry that I'm mid of a National Youth Parliamentarian Training Program for quite a lot of people with a few other United Nations agencies that we are trying to do a youth leadership camp, a residential camp. So I'm here doing it and on such a beautiful play and opportunity that I was invited and I don't want to miss it, that I would like to address all of you. Sorry if my voice is tired and if I look tired, but I'm very, very interested to learn from you. I always believe. And if the host could allow me to share the screen, that would be beautiful. Yeah. If you could make me a co-host or whatever it makes happens. Okay, beautiful. Thank you. Right, hope you can see this. And I have put a link on the chat and I see 16 people and there's 47 people on the Zoom. So please, if any one of you could repeat the link, and I will do it myself also. There's 18 people, let's make it fast. Guys, I want to make it very crisp and quick. So I highly appreciate your fast action and please interrupt. And if you want to question me, absolutely fine. This is not a webinar. Right. How are you feeling right now? If you had to choose something right now, that there's a beautiful program by Rotaract of Achievers, they brought it down, Jumpstart. Okay, excited, sleepy, 7 o'clock on such a day. What's going to happen? Yeah. Okay. That's wow. Guys, 7:20, sleepy. Wake up. We gotta work hard. Things might sound very challenging ahead, but every obstacle is an opportunity. Yeah. Right, super. Thank you. So I see an audience of 40% close to excited and about 30% who is like explorative. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. Let's keep it going. If you could have any superpower, what would it be? If you wish you want to have a superpower, what do you think that should be? Anything that you wish to put in. Don't see anything yet. Make people happy. Right. So making people happy has become a superpower. I thought it was a very basic humanity gesture. The COVID has made it a superpower now, but still, I love that intention. Time travel, invisible. Okay, wow. Being invisible enough, yeah. Reading minds, predict the future, others, minds, photographic memory, beautiful, yes. Endless capacity to learn. I think we all have it. It's just that we might not be committed to learn sometime, but yes, it could be a superpower as well. Intelligence like Iron Man. Wow, okay. Yeah, all right. Fly, read, a spider sense. Wow. Okay, spider sense is new. Most of it I've heard. Good choice. Nice. Um, yes. Right. Beautiful. And we have, yeah, good. Let's come back. Right. So there's a reason why I asked this particular question, and I'll be touching base on my very quick session today on this. Just quickly choose. I know that I've given you a limited option, but out of this limited option, if you are to choose a most inspiring brand for you, what would it be? Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yes, beautiful. Right. So, okay. Gonna keep a memory of this. Don't worry. I'll touch this, guys. Right. Okay. If you have a business, or if you want to start a business, and probably that's what you are here in terms of entrepreneurial development, what do you expect out of your business? And let's be very genuine. It's okay to make money. It's okay to make sales. It's okay to have more customers. We just don't want to be only solving problem. But if you genuinely your intention is solving problem, please put it. It's completely anonymous. I don't know who does what. It's just that I see a summative results. Yeah. All right. So I see about a 15% of requirement of more customer acquisition, and there's about profit yield of 20% or 20% or wants profit. A huge set of people who want to solve a problem. That's where our business begins, right? Remember, obstacles are opportunities. Right. In case if you are started, or I'm sorry that I don't know in terms of limitations of time that I'm going to drive. If you have a business, or if you want to start a business, what industry that you want that solution to belong to? Tech, but appreciate him being specific, because I don't see anything without tech nowadays. Construction, beautiful. Okay. Basic necessities, undecided, travel and hospitality, gaming, beautiful. Environmental, plastic production. Okay, I shouldn't be talking about here because I'm supposed to talk sustainable development goals from where I stand. But yeah, plastic productions, agriculture, engineering, social services. Beautiful. Social services as business. That's what you call it, social enterprise. Right. Just got a snapshot or photographic idea of what you are looking at. What is the composition of people that you are out there? A beautiful set of people, and thank you very much for responding to it. Right. Let's get ahead of the whole thing that we want to discuss. All right. Let me load my presentation quick. Slideshow, setup slideshow, individual, okay, present. Right. So if anyone has attended my session, I'm sure that you would have here. I usually bring different exercises, but in terms of my time that I couldn't have, I had to do something that we was previously designed. But I usually don't repeat much that I wish. But sorry, in case if you have attended. Okay, I'm sorry about it. Right, you see my screen, and there is something I don't know if you have allowed to annotate for the participants, but if you have an option to call annotate on the top, right, please go and annotate. So you see that you are seeing Fawaz's screen, and on the top, if you have an option to annotate, I want you to draw a fish. Yes, Gehan, thank you. Fast and quick. Yes, I have Gehan drawing a fish for me, and anyone. I have Rotaract Lab drawing, Tilini drawing. Beautiful. I have Sujaya. I have Mahirin. I have Janitri. Wow, small and a beautiful fish. Right. So 3 more seconds to draw fish. That's we are finalizing. 1, 2, 3. Done. Stop. Okay, fine. You're no more doing it. All our Montessori session is gone. Freeze. Right. Thank you very much. So I'm going to take a very quick screenshot of this. Annotate, save. It's saved. All your beautiful fishes are saved, and I'm going to clear it now with your permission. Or probably I can keep it because it's a very few fish. Okay, all the fish that you drew, very similar to what you see in the screen. Yeah. Yes. It's all mostly what you see it in the screen. All right. Tilly says I drew it on the top. No, don't worry. Perfectly fine. Right. Okay. With your permission, since all the fish that you have drawn can be easily resonated to this, I'm going to clear the screen. Now, all my question is all about, right, where did you learn to draw this fish, right? And most importantly, isn't it a fish? Isn't this a fish? Isn't this a fish? Isn't this a fish? Now, what happened to us all of a sudden? And if somebody is asking, this fellow might be a piece fellow coming to business models and entrepreneurship and talking about drawing fish. Yes, maybe I am. But the reality is, if you are to drive your business in the challenges which is ahead of us, right, in terms of economy, in terms of COVID, in terms of consumer behavior, in terms of digital adoption, which is happening so much out there, we got to think a little new normal, right? That demands us a new normal thinking, right? That actually demands us a little bit of a new normal thinking, right? I'm giving you a very quick, about 30 seconds time, that if you can quickly tell me, yes, perfect. Quickly tell me that where did you learn to draw this fish, right? Where did you learn to draw this fish? You can put it on the chat, don't worry. Right, beautiful. In preschool, from March school, in school, yes. So now you see, my very quick question is, if this fish that we learn to draw is from preschool, kindergarten, which is like, what, if your age is 18, it's almost like 15 years old. If your age is 20, it's about like at least 18, 19 years old. Now, the whole question is, how many ocean movies that you'd have seen? How many aquarium you would have seen? How many fishes, the type of seafood that you and me would have tried or had a fiesta in terms of food aspired. So there's a lot of fish in our life which we have crossed. But the moment I told you to draw a fish, you all went down to probably an 18 years back, because that was very strong in your mind. This is called frame thinking. You got to cut out, and people talk about thinking out of the box and all of it. But if you can inculcate, and you 60% of you want to solve a problem out there, you need to think from the problem. You need to think differently from the problem. You need to think from what it is now, right? Because when I told you to draw a fish, nobody could connect you to what it is now. You just flash drive into a good number of at least a decade back, right? So that's frame thinking. So if you are to innovate business, if you are to innovate business model, think on current context, right? Think from now. 2 years back is not latest. 2 years from like 2018 is not latest. There's something COVID happened. There's a lot of fluctuation. Dimensions are changed. This is one of the reasons if you are to convert your opportunity into obstacles. Just going to fast track a little bit, right, in terms of benefit of time. If you have to make a $1 billion one day, this is what all the companies are doing. And this is not that simple and easy, right? Right. Okay. $10. If your product is $1, you need to sell it to 1 billion people. $10, 100 million people. And if the science and business is so easy, everybody who knows this maths is a businessman. But it's not the case. Now, this is where the consumer behavior comes. If your product is $1 and you want to sell, if you have to make 1 billion rupees, you need 1 billion customers, right? But the reality is 1 billion is almost 1/7 of the world population. Yeah. Now, it's not 1 billion people. We need 1 billion instance of sales. Somebody has to buy, or some purchases should happen 1 billion times, right? Now, that's where the consumer behavior comes. You reflect EGB Network Kottuna, Coca-Cola with Christmas, all of this happens. They want to increase your number of purchase, customer lifetime, consumer behavior. So they know whom they are selling to. That's why they don't sell in all the market. And why did Coke Zero comes? That was a product innovation to sustain a healthy friendly or a sugar friendly community. So likewise, if you are doing anything, you need to know whom you are selling. The era of demand and supply, era of there's a product you can sell it to a lot of people with need is gone. You need to focus. You need to plan. You need to understand which consumer behavior is going to buy. And that's where business models are important, right? People talk a lot about business model, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm sure you are the future out there. You are the future of going to make things happen, right? And I'm sure none of you want to be the next Mark Zuckerberg or the next Bill Gates or next founder of the Pygmy, next founder of anything that you name. Let's look at if somebody can come to you and say, can I be next to you, right? So for that, you need to understand what business models are. Business model is very simple. The product or service that you create, how is it being delivered to the consumer and how it is being given you captured, so which is the transactions are recorded. A simple definition. A juice kade to a massive factory can be mapped into this theory, right? How do you create a product and how do you deliver to the customer? Is it through online sales? Is it through a shop? Is it through a factory? Is it through a supply chain? Is it through an agency? Is it through a freemium model? You name it. And then how does customer interact? Does customer directly pay you? Is it online? Or does the customer pay the retailer and they pay you? Or does the retailer has paid you on a better price and they have a small margin and they pay? What's a wholesale deal? Anything can be mapped here, right? First, you need to understand this. This is business model. Now, what is new is innovation potential. And how does the product and service work? And there was a time that when everybody asked, right? So when I started my business, people asked me, what is my exit strategy? Where am I going to draw the lines? And trust me, these terms were jargons to me, right? I did not know any of these terms. And I actually did a course, which I also, since I don't want to mention the name here, it'll be a contradicting brand, but I did a course, but I got a Sri Lanka award-winning prize also. But the purpose that I did is I couldn't answer the questions that people were asking about my business because I was so focused to solve a problem. In 2012, I started a business to solve a problem of distance education through a live education. All what you see Zoom today, we were talking about 2012, and we didn't make it. And 2 years, I was selling the product in the wrong market. And in most of the schools in Colombo to out suburb of the Colombo, I have gone and given leaflets by my hand saying that try an online class, and I come back to office and I answer the call and I give a demo class. I've done this all by myself. But when I was trying, failing, frustrated, didn't work, pricing was not right, and then I figured out I was selling a right product to a wrong market, and I went international and things started changing, working. And I had a complete different entrepreneurial journey with success, failure, understanding, framing, scaling. So I talk not from theory, from my humble experience. And if I could do that, all of you here with blessing supports of organizations like Achievers and whatever you are here, with Rotaract Club, empowerments, hackathons happening out there, you will do wonders, right? Trust me, you will do wonders. So with that wonders, right? Business model is how do you innovate, add product and service together. There's no more call whether are you a service or are you product. If you are selling product, the way you sell your product becomes a service. If you are service, how you position your service becomes a product, right? So it's very simple as that. So you've got to innovate on both ends. So let's look at very few success-driven business models, right? So there's always this premium-based business model. You call it freemium to premium. So you get people to try. So this has multiple angles, multiple applications, right? The first, people might give you a shorter period of premium, or people might give you a lifelong premium, but with limited features, right? You have seen this mostly in a tech products, digital products. But even the food industry tries this. Buy one, get one free, or certain supermarket might come with a new sausage brand and have it cooked and fried for you to taste it and brand it. There's a lot of people using this strategy. The strategy is applied at different industries, but very important, it's a freemium to premium because it spreads fast. It's get more people to try. So if you are launching a beta version, if you want more feedback, if you want to get more people to get on with you, a good way. But be very careful. It's free for customers, not for you. Your books, it'll be a pay, not even a cost. You're going to get somebody you're going to pay for somebody to try. Imagine if you're an online service, your hosting services, all going to cost. If it is a product, the manufacturing cost, the deep cost. So you need to understand how much are you losing per single attempt of somebody being your freemium customer. You need to get the number intelligence. The rest one is the Razer and the blade business model. As you know, the Razer, in early days, the Razer is expensive, or the structure of the Razer is expensive. You've seen the steel ones and all of it, right? But the blade used to be very inexpensive. So the whole deal is you get to a certain brand, and Gillette actually introduced it beautifully, that you buy the Gillette Razor and you can keep buying blade only, and the Gillette Razor lasts for long. So the whole model was, switching the customer was very tough because you already invested on the basic infrastructure with Gillette, and you don't want to keep buying it, right? Now you have the plastic and all of it because of a lot of hygienic control, and again, the consumer behavior has changed. This model also worked in the printer industry, where you embark a printer and then you have some sort of a IP way, so that how the cartridge works on your printer. So you have to keep buying the specific cartridge, right? A specific model of inking. So that becomes your revenue, not the printer itself. That's the selling of that. And like Amazon Kindle, right? The Kindle is something not really they make money on, but the Kindle bookshop or the Kindle book share. So where you buy the books, because if you're Kindle, you need to go to Amazon and keep buying the online books, right? So that was the catch. And coffee machines, right? The same, the refilling. So likewise, these Razer and blade business models are being also applied very decently, so that switching the customer. And why it's very important during or post-COVID, as you and me know, you and me are not loyal to any brand. So that's going to be the same with our customers also. We think our customers to be loyal? No. Are we loyal to any brand? We are cost sensitive. If there is a deal, we go into all the deal, we know the specs what we are buying, and we find which brand, which shop is giving the most effective pricing for us. If we are the same, the clients also will be the same. So think. So if you as a consumer, and if you become a producer or a businessman, that's going to become that sort of thing also. Again, Facebook business model, one of the most complex business model. I can do the Facebook business model alone for about an hour if most of you are tech enthusiastic. But I just want to bring the Facebook business model and say how they have scaled, right? The last one, as you know, last few one, the supply chain from old business model to subscription is coming up. If you think about, nobody wants to own a vehicle. They are very good with Uber, Pick Me subscription in Sri Lanka, but internationally the same. So internationally, The bigger organizations go for renting subscriptions. So today you want a BMW to go for a wedding, and tomorrow you need a 4x4 to go for a jungle, and day after tomorrow you have a city hopping and you need a small hatchback. You can't own 3 vehicles, but you can own a subscription where you can keep changing this. So the world is also moving towards a subscription-based business model. The customer relationship is focused so that they don't build asset, they build experience. So you can go and research about future spenders' consumer behavior, right? The future spenders, millennials, all what these people are talking about, right? How you are reacting to the brands. How are you looking at your savings, life, and all of it is going to reflect on the future spenders, right? So think about it. Why these models? And the disintermediation. So basically, chopping off the middle person. Like we like online marketplaces. You wanted to go to a single website and find multiple things from multiple vendor, and you buy the cheapest one. So you want that. So that's a marketplace. Same with banks, which is happening. So same happening to the telecommunication industry. So right now, telecommunication industry, your telecommunication provider owns the number, but it's gonna, as you know, there's a talk about mobile portability in Sri Lanka, but most of the international country already has it, where you own your number and you decide to keep switching your service provider. And how many of us are stuck with a specific service provider only because if we want to switch, we need to switch our number. So we lose your identity of being approached, right? So that's going to cost a lot. So nobody is doing it. So likewise, everything is going to go into option driven. So people want review options and all of it. So this is going to reflect in your business model. So going into business model canvas, since most of you are not yet started and most of you wanted to solve problems, which I as expected, I'm going to touch on a lean canvas. So lean canvas is a very simple model, guys, right? And if anybody is worried about me talking too much and how long this guy is going to talk, for the next 15 to 20 minutes, I'm done, right? Right. If you have an idea right now, before idea, go back to the learning. Where did you get this inspiration? It's very important to build and go on an MVP. That's minimum viable product, right? And it's important to measure so that how people are responding to it, how the data comes in. People talk about this data and all of it, yeah? So we need to understand what that means to us. So what's data? So we need to understand how people are responding and reacting to our businesses, right? Yes, so what is Lean Canvas? Guys, you can Google and you can do all of it. It's all what I wanted to plant you today is just filling a Lean Canvas is not going to help us to build a business. If you know what you're doing, you need to learn that in deep. You need to become a subject matter expert. Just because you have a money and passion or you just have a passion, it's not going to work. Probably this is not the good thing that you want to listen, but I'm being brutally honest. Learn about what is the industry that you are getting into. Be a subject matter expert. That's the investment that you and me can do, right? Otherwise, businesses would require a lot of money if you don't know what you are doing. But if you know what you are doing, you don't even want investors. You just need customers. You can scale with customers through a model called minimum viable product. There's a model called scale as you go. So that model is practiced for self-sustainable scaling businesses without investors. Right? I think you all can do it because I see next 1 year at least, it might be very hard to get an investor on board. But not having an investor shouldn't put your dream into a hold. You have enough energy to go bulldoze it and you can definitely do it. Now, for Lean Canvas or any canvas or any business model, this fellow is very important. Product market fit. Imagine your capabilities, your strength, your knowledge, the subject matter expert I told you, is capable of building a big lorry, SUV. And this particular red color fellow out there in your picture right now that you see would be the car park, which is a market. Now, if you come in a lorry and if you can't park it here, whose fault is that? What do? You have come in a lorry. That's what you have. And this is the park or this is the place that you want to get into. And you want to park it there. And is it enough space there? You can't. Now, what do you do now? Go crush the other two fellows and park it? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Chat, anyone? If anyone is not sleeping, you can put it on chat. Yes, no. Guys, are you all awake? Yes. Okay, someone says adopt. Anything else? Try to come back with a smaller car. Okay, anything else? Park somewhere else, okay? Right. Exactly, right? That's product market fit. We build a product and we try to push it to a market. Sometime that's not your market, or that's not the product that market wants. Now you need to take a call. Very simple example, right? And I have a car model for a business model canvas. Let's do it on another day, which is it's our team, the CurveUp team did it. Imagine if the car or the lorry identifies the market it came is not the market for it. Now it need to go in search of a new market. And how fast and how long it can go depends on the amount of fuel that have. That's the funding, that's the money, that's the business model. Are you freemium, how much you're going to burn? All of it comes there. So it's very, very important to understand to what market are you going to sell. Imagine if you could have understood this place doesn't have parking, or this place is not for lorries. Either you would have been prepared to come in a different vehicle, or you could have had enough fuel to go around few other places. So this is why product market fit is important. So understand, mostly we say innovations fail. Innovations doesn't fail. Innovations is not marketed to the correct audience. And I know a product which came up with an automated toothbrush in Sri Lanka, and they tried it for a very long time. Trust me, from SuperiWiki to Signal to the new brands that we have, Sri Lankan consumer pattern of brushing and brushing as a toothbrush to everything has a complete different and niche market, right? Automated toothbrush is little overwhelming, little ahead of market. Yes, there is a niche market, but a very, very niche market. But the same product was remarketed for disabled people, for the people, those who don't have limbs, the people, those who couldn't brush, the people, those who going to depend with someone else to brush. And the product is doing super well, right? So it's not about the innovation. It's about, does the innovation has the commercial capacity within the range that you are accessible to, right? Good. Right. Last 10 minutes, guys. Google is your guru, in case if I'm not explaining it enough, right? Lean canvas, you can divide it into two, your product market fit. This side, all the fellows falls on the market, and this fellow, all the fellows falls on the product. I wanted you to focus on that one middle guy who is connecting these both fellows, both chambers. That is unique value proposition. A simple, clear, compelling message that states why you are different and worth paying attention, worth paying trying. If you can figure out that in your business, that's become your key value proposition. That's your connector between your product and market. Now, go back to the product. You all wanted to solve a problem, right? Now, understand what is the top 3 problems that you want to solve. And understand the existing alternatives. Don't come and say that problem is not solved by anyone else. It has been addressed by someone else in a different way. Go understand how other alternatives are contributing for the solution of the problem that you want to solve. Very important. Now go back to that target customers, because if you let's take for example, right? You want to eradicate the food wastage of Sri Lanka, for example. Just a problem that you want to solve. The food wastage happens from single homes to the events, which is here and there happening events, and which is a regular hospitality industry and hotel industry, and a lot more. Now, if you are to say, I'm solving a food wastage problem in Sri Lanka and everybody who wastes food is my customers, no. That has a different segment. And you and me are not powerful to attract all these customer segments in just a one single solution, right? Now you pick, okay, looks like solving a problem at a hotel wastage is more important. Because why? That is very regular. Because every hotel runs almost every day, all high 5-star hotels. So I'll give you this example, right? So one of the solutions that they went to solve this problem in Sri Lanka, they went to the hotel associations of Sri Lanka and said, and they did a very big research and said, you waste this much tons of food every month. And Sri Lanka has a hunger rate of this much. If we join hands with us, we can eradicate this percentage of hunger in Sri Lanka. Why don't we join hands and do? Anybody that thinking this, wow, what a nice, brilliant idea. Authorities declined. You know why? You want to guess why? Anyone? The hotel said, sorry, we can't join hands. We waste food, but we will not join hands. Anyone you want to guess? Anyone who wants to look at it in a business angle? The future leaders. As I promised. Yes, Mahina, if you want to unmute and say, you can say.
Because they're 5-star hotels, so giving their 5-star food to poor people might ruin their brand image.
Yes, somewhere very close, correct.
Because you're getting rich people to pay for the food and you're handing out the food for free. So then the rich people will be wondering, why did they eat here?
Correct, same thing. So you see, that was completely opposition to their market positioning, right? So they can't allow the same food to be available for charity or free somewhere out there. And the hotel also was very fair, and they went in and signed a contract with pet food or adoptive food industry. So that food wastage is actually being utilized by a set of pet foods and set of other food alterations, so that the shape of the food or the food is not given as it is, right? It's being used into different things. So good job. So something like that. So you need to understand what customer segment you are solving, and you go deeper about it. And you have to understand who will adopt it first, right? So then you know whom you have to talk to. So this is planning. Then you come back to the third one. You are solving a problem for a specific people. Now, what's the value are you creating for the customer, and how are you solving the problem is your unique value proposition. I know I have struggled to answer this question for a very long time. And then when I figured out, it was so easy for me that I used to say, look, I want to give live online tutoring of verified content with verified experts for affordable price. This was my value proposition, right? So likewise, you'll figure it out. And nobody, trust me, guys, if you think my English is good, my first job in Colombo said, my English is bad and I'll be fired. And I couldn't have money to learn English totally by myself. So one of the sweet manager that I had about 11 years back, he told me, you have a fire in you, but your language is shit, very bad. I'll give you an opportunity to watch TV series. And the customers and the client I was serving for, it was an online tech company, right? So I need to understand the US culture a little bit because I get scolded from the client. So this gentleman manager told me, why don't you watch some TV series? And he was asking, have you ever watched TV series in your life? I was like, no. English movies? I was like, yeah. But Spider-Man, wow, you need to get upgraded, dude. Sorry, sir. We come from a different environment. I had to work a lot. So yeah. Then I watched a TV series. So why I'm saying this is, if you have network, empowerment, Google, everything you name it, the knowledge is one tip away. So figure out, okay to not to know. We are all not here to know it all. If somebody don't know lean canvas, it doesn't mean that you can't make a business happen. But if you are not yet started, knowing this help you, because the environment out there is very tough there. All right, we come back to the fourth one, solution. Now you connect the dots. You don't just feel standalone. You don't feel standalone. Sorry about it. You don't feel standalone because you come to the top 3 features which is going to be attractive to the customer segment and still contribute to the value proposition and still solve the problem, the top 3 problem. That's where you define the top 3 features, right? We all say the problem worth paying, solution worth paying comes there. Then you come to the unfair advantage. So like you come up with, hold a second, guys, I have to answer this call. Sorry about the interruption. I'm actually I usually not in such a busy environment, extremely apologizing. But fine, call cut, don't worry. Right. Unfair advantages can't be easily copied or bought. So people call this as an entry and exit barrier. So you want to see why you are good at it, or anyone who wants to work with you will always ask, why can't someone else do this? So if it is a food business, a recipe, if it is other business, intellectual property, if it is other business, process or technology, or your knowledge sometime, or the way that you solve the problem, anything can be an unfair advantage. I'm not just talking about intellectual property. People always say the unfair advantage has to be intellectual property. In Sri Lanka, intellectual property will easily cost you about $50,000 and will take about 15 years, and probably a solution may be easily outdated or no one wants to buy, although you will have an IP. So just keep all these IP things around, just get into the market. Market will teach you, market will be your best tool. The 6th one, we all want this, right? Revenue. Let the money come. We're starting a business. Money coming in multiple ways. Mark Zuckerberg over one night, right? Tamika Pereira over 2 days. Right? No. So that's the hard part. So you're going to sit down and understand what are the revenue modules, how will you make money, and how many times, or is it a subscription, is it a sales, or is it a service? So you need to figure out what are the number of ways that you will make money. Then the most paining part, costing structure, how much of money it's going to cost, right? What are the costing components? Go list down everything. People easily come with an MVP model and say, I will cost $19 for this product because circuit is this much, wire is this much, this is what, and this. Okay, so who is talking about packaging? Who is talking about shelf-ready product? You have to cost it for shelf-ready product. Nobody is going to buy a trial with jutted out wires or just a trial version. So they will try it, but they are not going to pay for it. Think about a product that you're going to pay. It has to be packaged well, branded well, advertised. Somebody has to know. It's all money. Put it down on the costing structure. And you know what's the biggest mistake I said? And I used to say in 2011 that I want to start about a live online tutoring business. And somebody asked me how much money you need. And I said, $500,000, 500,000 rupees. I will make it happen. I still remember the person laughed at me and said, one day, if you truly start this business, you will understand, you will run out of this, you will cash out this money in about less than 2 months. And trust me not, right? With borrowing and all of it, I started. And 3 weeks, I ran out of that money. I mean, ran out as like money is over. I had to find it. I had to struggle it, right? So understand how much it's going to cost a lot, how much it's going to cost. All the costing components. So people are going to respect you if you really know your numbers, right? So work on it. So all these things can be divided into 3 things, guys. You need to understand these things: feasibility, desirability, and viability. Desirability is there anyone who is desirable to pay for this to solve that? Feasibility is the problem that you want to solve and the solution that you want to create. Is it feasible? Is it technologically viable? Imagine if somebody comes and says, I want to create a virtual exhibition. I wanted everybody to come into an exhibition from their home through wearing a virtual reality glass and walking and all of it. Amazing. But there's a technological gap, and the desirability may go for a 6. And viability, you might have to spend a lot and charge a little. So likewise, think about these 3 factors before you start, right? So focus on problem, customer segment, and one solution. So this is how you start. Right. All right. As you all know, if you look at 2004's Facebook and today's, it is at 104 billion plus. And this is how the Facebook clean canvas looks like. The customer segment, they were very clear. Harvard students are the university communities. Early adopters were Harvard University. Problem, Harvard's students want to have more fun. There were alternatives. MySpace and Friendster were alternative. What's the solution they were providing? Online communication platform. What was the unique selling proposition? Harvard online community. The channel they were reaching, word of mouth among the other students. Revenue stream is, they were very clear from the day one, they need investment. cost structure was development and hosting, right? And Google, one of your inspiring model, what was the problem they were solving? We couldn't find relevant information online that fast. The solution, they created technology which can analyze the information faster from the web and give you a summative summary. Customer segment for web users, and they were very clear early adopters for the Stanford graduates. So you see, they go to that level. The great, amazing companies today. Why can't you be an amazing company? Steve Jobs, when they created Apple, the absence of user-friendly computers because it was all C, it was all CMD command line codings and all of it. They wanted to create a touch and a user-friendly and a graphics thing. They're very clear with the problem, and now they have grown. Like you will grow. And it's very hard to put a lean canvas for a grown company because lean canvas is a basic start. It's where you start. And don't think this is where you're going to end. This is where you're going to start. People get it wrong, right? They think about, I want to solve these things. These are the customer segments I have. So I have to be big. Yes, you will grow big, but where do you start? That is your lean canvas, right? And Tesla, the same. Now, what's beyond canvas, ladies and gentlemen? It's all assumption, right? You and me think this is what, and we feel this fellow, right? We don't know whether it's right or wrong. And you want to see how bad is assumption? It's like the first three letter of the word, right? So we don't want to be that, right? We don't want to be called that. So please, if you feel this, go and validate and don't talk to your friends or family. Either they are going to be nice or negative. Customer segment you come up, try finding that nature of people, go and talk to them, right? They will respond to you. And if they say, no, yeah, I have a toothache, but I don't want your solution. I'm very good with my Ayurvedic or whatever the therapy, whatever you call it, is good for me. So likewise, get it, eradicate assumption and get things going forward and evolve this vision. And guys, I don't want to keep it floating for a very long time. And I know you all come from a time that you want to start your dreams. If you have any questions, I'm willing to take up. And I'm thinking all of you are going to do great in life. And you're going to come up with crazy, wonderful things in your life to make things happen beautiful and to make this world a better place to live. While wishing you all the very best, I'm going to remain here for some time if there's anyone who has a question.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable time committing to us towards this session. So, meanwhile, yes.
No, I was just getting some questions. Go on now.
Yeah, before we move on to the question and answer session, I am asking for a little bit of your time to dedicate it to our banking partner, Bank of Ceylon. After that, we will come into the question and answer session. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can direct it to Mr. Fawaz or in the chat box. Or after the commercial break, you can unmute yourself and ask the question. Thank you.
Now all my bill payments are right at my fingertips.
I'm in touch with my BOC card whenever, wherever.
BOC Smart Online Banking creates time for the important things in life while your banking is done securely with ease and speed, wherever you may be.
Now we can move on to our Q&A session. Yes, go on, Mr. Fawaz.
I have a question asking that, do you mind sharing this PowerPoint? Absolutely, yes. So don't worry, it's not we would have created it, but the information is not owned by us. So more than happy if it's going to be of any use to you. We have nothing to hold back. Yes, I'll definitely email to Vinuri, and I'm sure that she'll share it with all of you. Yes. Any other questions? I'm sure you can have some better questions. If I were you and somebody talked to me at like 7 o'clock for the time that I was struggling with the business way back, I would have had tons of questions. And I'm sure that you have figured out the most of the things. I can feel you. 8 o'clock, you're going to get someone to ask questions on business model. Right? Anyone who has a question, guys? So one of the reasons that I also kind of wrap it up or just give you a glimpse of idea, as I told you, if I were you, I wanted to be more relevant. So I just wanted to make sure that I give you a glimpse of idea so that you can actually go in deep. But one thing that I'll keep reiterating is don't plan it for a way too long to make it perfect. Put it to the market with a minimum viable structure. Yes, market may reject, accept, and most of the time we think entrepreneurship is a success, entrepreneurship is a journey. And most importantly, get one thing very clearly. If you are thinking about way of making money and lifestyle, entrepreneurship is a lifestyle which will give you a financial freedom, right? So you got to put a lot of work into it. And I'm not saying that like anyone, you have to be stressed, you need to become bull-headed, you need to have BPs, and you need to have diabetes when you start business because it's so stressful. No, I'm not saying that. Enjoy what you're doing, but be very committed, be very passionate, and keep learning. Industries are changing, things are changing. Might be today is a very tiring day for me, to be very honest, and I have a couple of meetings after this too. But it's worth it, and I don't complain, and I'm liking it. And I have my golden holidays. Like when I struggle, I take my good breaks, go to an unexplored place. Guys, are there any questions based on business models? Nothing. So I can take it two way. I did something which is useful, or probably I wasted one golden 1 hour of your time. I would take it both the way, but you are the judge. I'm sure there's more business model that you can figure it out. Keep focusing on what you want to do. Back to the organizers, if you want to try some questions.
I absolutely do not think that this was a waste of 1 hour. I think probably because probably why people don't have questions is because you gave a very clear idea on what business canvas model is. So if still we can allocate a minute or two if you have any questions. If not, we can wrap up for today.
Right. Okay, usually I say this in the last. One thing, don't fear. And if you're thinking to start something, there's a lot of problem to solve. There's a lot of obstacles. There's a lot of negativity on the news to Facebook to everything. Be very positive. If you are not positive, you can't handle this, right? Be very, very, very positive. Don't get into this gossip circle of, that's not right. No, this is not right. This is not happening. No, that's not right. Look at the problem in a very beautiful way that you can solve and make somebody's life better as a solution. And definitely it will give you a reward in terms of finance or whatever that you intend to, right? Oh, I'm getting some questions. One is, business idea in mind, I'll surely apply this to idea. Okay. Is it a good idea to take part from the business model and merge them to make a unique? Definitely, yes. There's no strict rule. If you are freemium to premium, you can't do a subscription model. Combine subscription, combine freemium model, Razer and Blade, and some other model out there. There's a lot of other models, guys. There's about 50 different business models, but very industry specific, right? So construction industry runs a little bit of a different business model. And if you know, hire purchase itself is a business model, installment, premium, credit cards, offers, trade, sales promotions. Sales promotion is a business model for certain companies. So likewise, you can combine, keep innovating, right? It's absolutely fine. And you are the owner. You own your business model. You own your process. So feel free to go. Beautiful. And thank you very much, lovely audience who had a tolerance to keep listening to me. Yes, wishing you all the very best. And I'll be one of the most happiest person that probably I don't want to like overrating. I'm going to remember all you by names. But if in any case that like all of you going to make a great impact in your life by creating a wonderful companies, things, going to be very happy and wishing you all the very best. And you guys can definitely do it. with such a people like Rotaract Club of Achievers and a lot of other organizations supporting you, you're going to do wonders. Wishing you all the very best and signing off from all great future leaders of this nation. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Fawaz, for joining with us, especially amidst your very busy schedule, for committing your valuable time towards us, for understanding our situation as well. So we really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the wonderful session on business canvas models. And as you can see in the comments, people really enjoyed the session and it was very insightful for them. So yes, couple of announcements that I have to make before we wrap up. So this was the second workshop under the workshop series of Jumpstart 2021. Tomorrow we will be having a workshop on finance and bookkeeping and fundraising. So if you're interested in that subject, you may join the session as well. And we are giving you all the links to sign up in the chat box. If you have already registered, you just contact us to receive more notifications. We will reach out to you via email and WhatsApp. So when you visit the registration link of the workshop series, you can see the entire lineup of the workshop. So you may select any workshop that you want. It's all for free, and you can join any workshop and as much as you can, as many workshops as you can. So it will be really beneficial for you to learn the subject of entrepreneurship. And also reminding you to register for the competition round of Pitch It Win It. So the same link goes out to register for Pitch It Win It round. If you have a business idea, this is your best chance to validate your business idea and win exciting prizes and many more opportunities. And also for more information about Jumpstart 2021, you may visit our blog page, or the links are given in the chat box. So until we see you in the next workshop session, which is tomorrow, we will be updating all the information in due course. So until we meet again, stay safe and good night.